So, why are we here? That's the first question that I want to ask you. We're going to talk a lot about joy. Yes or no? But I don't see anyone smiling. Get some smile, please. Oh, that was laughter. So, just the introduction of the program. So, we've called it as the International Conference on Economics, Entrepreneurship, and Psychology. So, this is the first edition, which is going to be in Chennai. So, we're going to launch it here today. So, based on that, we're going to talk a little bit about joy and happiness. So, there's quite a difference, right? Yes or no? What's the difference between joy and happiness? Students? You can shout out. You had your breakfast? Yeah? What's the difference between joy and happiness? Anybody can speak. No? Don't feel shy when you have joy. All right, so what is the difference between joy and happiness? That's the question that we have. So we've come across two strong words. One is joy and the other is happiness. If you look to the board there, you can see there, joy, it's a state or a condition. That's what it says. And happiness is an emotion. Now again, joy is constant, but happiness is temporary, which means it stays for a while and then it goes away. Why? Because joy is internal, intrinsic. It's from within. It's from within. But when you look at happiness, it's external. You need to be motivated from the outside. But with joy, you need to be motivated from the inside, right? And we also say that joy comes from God or from the eternal being. And happiness comes from the environment around us. So these are some basic differences that we've brought in. So if you can get an idea about what the difference is now, then I'm sure that you will be seeking the right thing, either joy or happiness, right? Choice is yours. So going forward, I just have one quote from Eckhart Tolle. So he's also a Canadian. So he's written two books called The Power of Now and The New Earth. So he says, pleasure is always derived from something outside you. He says pleasure is always derived from something outside you, whereas joy arises from within. Isn't that beautiful? Right? If you love something, you love from the bottom of your heart. That's what we say, right? I love it from the bottom of my heart. So it's not on the outside, it's all about the inside. Right? And one more quote I want to leave with you is from the great Albert Einstein, right? All of us know who Albert Einstein is, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? What goes with Albert Einstein? When somebody says Albert Einstein, what comes to your mind? Other than the long hair. Yeah, MC squared. So, all right, so he says, it is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken the joy in creative expression and knowledge. So that's a beautiful quote. See, I'll read that again for you. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. Right? So that's a basic understanding between joy and happiness, little understanding about joy as well. It's the streets that makes the city. I'm sure you must be knowing about yesterday's story. Remember the girl who was stabbed on the street? If we had smart streets, then we wouldn't have allowed that to happen. Yes or no? Though we caught the thief, But then, unfortunately, Ashwini was stabbed yesterday. KK Nagar. You know the story, right? You've been watching news? Yeah? So we need to get smarter, right? So as we go ahead, we move into the second section, the section 2. We're going to talk about 12 new strategies or 12 new streams of social civic entrepreneurship. Basically startup streams. So we have these 12 new ideas which we bring in, and we want to bring it out as an entrepreneurial entity so that people who are interested in this can come forward, who are really interested in lives, really interested in people, can come forward and help us take this forward, right? So it is a game changer. It is a game changer. We need to make the decision. It's not about the government or somebody who's in authority, it's we who are in authority first. We take the first step and then things happen, right? Coming to my topic, so this is what I'm supposed to talk about today. Neighborly relations. The idea behind having a good neighbor is to develop the country as such, to the next level. So the basic understanding that I'm going to share with you is this. We talk about, there's always some problems which are politicized. That's what I believe between neighborhood. And it's not always like that, but then I'm sure that somebody looks for an opportunity to politicize that. Looking at this particular problem as such, I'm sure you people have problems with neighbors. Pakathu veetla sanda podirukingala? Definitely. See, she's saying, yeah, she's all Josh like. She's like, she's putting her eyebrows up. Pakathu veetla sanda, definitely. So yeah, obviously we fight with our neighbors. But then if we have a collaborative approach, an understanding between neighbors, I think we can have a beautiful country, a beautiful street, a beautiful city. Even the person sitting next to you, did you fight with somebody next to you right now? Sitting next to you? You're not looking at her, right? So what I want to leave with you is this now. With the intervention, we have something called as ISAC. So we've brought this, it's an interstate amity center which is out at Kuthavakam right here on the Mahabalipuram road, where we actually educate people and make them understand how well we can establish this understanding with the neighbors. So what I would suggest also is, if you all, I think we're more than 12 people here, if you all choose one of this, which actually interests you all, and then get back to us, you can choose two also, but then basically one point of working, then we're going to equip you and make you understand as well. And you can form a team, and then we can get it into action. That's the basic idea behind it. All right, so I would leave you with this saying, love your neighbor, but then the love part of it does not evolve without joy. So the core of love is joy. Joy strengthens love, basically. The more joyful I am, most of the diseases that we have are caused because of depression and worrying and anxiety as such. So we need to, that's why, like doctor said, dis-ease, not being at ease, as simple as that. That's how it looks. I would want you all to make a choice and be a part of this mission that we have, so that, you could be really productive. That's the whole idea behind it. It's one nation, one society and one community. Let's work that way. So I want to really thank all the professors from the IIT and everyone else who's come here.